no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress who have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given comfort to the enemies thereof.
All right.
Let me be clear. Josh Hawley has violated his oath of office.
That's right.
Yes.
He has betrayed our Constitution.
Yes, he
has.
has.
And must never be allowed to serve in the United States Senate again.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
That's right. Hallelujah. Better know it.
But that part is up to us. Josh Hawley ran from the rabid crowd he created. And he has been running ever since.
Yes.
He has ran away from accountability, from responsibility, and from each of you.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's up to us, every person, every vote, every voice. Voices that must join in a mighty chorus, calling for change.
Yes.
If you are like me, you cannot be quiet,
Yes.
or put your head down,
Amen.
or close your eyes to what is happening.
That's for real.
Yes.
That's for
I
real.
feel I have a duty to my state, my nation, and my God.
Yes.
To mend what has been torn apart.
Yes.
To bring unity to a space that thrives on division.
Yes.
And to heal the deep wounds that bring real harm to families across our state.
Yes.
I have come here today to ask you to join me on this journey.
Yes.
Walk with me on this path
Yes.
for healing.
Yes.
Yes.
Work with me to bring us together as one people, united in purpose and compassion.
Yes.
And stand with me on common ground to plant the seeds of healing so we can grow something bigger and better for our children and grandchildren.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Woo-hoo! Because if we don't, if things do not change, it is the next generation that will suffer from our failures.
Yes. That's right.
Recently, nearly 8 out of 10 Americans said they were worried that their children would be worse off than they were. 8 out of 10. I'm a mother, and I know that feeling. I know the pride of looking back at the sacrifices of my mother and my father and my grandmother and my grandfather, and the incredible things they did to make things better for me and my generation.
Yes.
And I know the shame of looking around and wondering what kind of world we're leaving for those that follow. For my son,
No doubt.
for your sons and daughters,
Yes.
for your children and your grandchildren. A planet that is warming at a crisis rate.
Come on. Yes.
A divided country, and the peace and promise of everyday life shattered by the sound of gunfire.
All right. Keep
A
going.
sound that rings out the terror, not just in the streets of St. Louis, but in the shopping malls, in small towns, and schools all across America.
That's
Yes.
right. Yes.
Gun violence is the #1 killer of kids in the United States.
That's right.
I said it's the #1 killer.
Yes.
One.
And I don't know about you, but when I hear that something is #1 threat to our children, I want to do something about it.
Yeah, all right.
Yes. That's right.
No more delays, no more studies, no more excuses.
Yes.
All right. No more excuses.
No more.
No more excuses. These are our kids, our children. It is time to act. It is time to be bold and fearless and recognize this moment for what it is.
That's right. Yes.
A turning point, a high water mark where we decide to sink or swim.
Yes.
But we cannot succeed. We will not succeed if we approach the turning points turned on each other.
That's right. Yes. That's right.
So the healing must begin. Healing requires us to confront our differences with open minds and open hearts.
Yes.
It starts with acknowledging that we are a diverse nation composed of individuals with unique backgrounds, beliefs, and experiences. To heal America, we must foster understanding and empathy. We must engage in meaningful dialogue, not to prove ourselves right, but to genuinely listen and learn from one another. Healing America means addressing the wounds of the past. It means forgiveness for the deepest harm and the original sin of our nation.
Absolutely.
It means confronting these wounds together with a commitment to justice and reconciliation. This is America. We do not ignore our differences. We embrace them. We celebrate them. And we appreciate the beauty of diversity around us. Finally, let us remember that healing America is not the task of a few, but the responsibility of all. Each and every one of us has a role to play in the mending of our nation.
Hallelujah.
We must actively promote tolerance, respect, and kindness in our daily lives. Through acts of compassion and understanding, we can create ripples of change that extend far beyond our immediate circles. We can and we will build a brighter future for the next generation. We will turn the corner and keep our heads up. We will be healers and bridge builders and trailblazers our nation needs. Thank you for joining me on this journey, because my name is Karla May, and I was born in this city, and I love this country, and I'm ready to save both with your help as your United States Senator. And may God continue to bless these United States of America.
All the way.
Senator is available for questions concerning her announcement today. Tony, you got here early. You're first. Okay, thanks.
Senator, the Missouri NFL-CIO and Chuck Schumer say that Lucas Coates is the Democrats of the Josh Hawley. How do you persuade Democratic primary voters that you're a better matchup?
Well, if you know my history, they have not met Karla May because they always underestimate. And I am a strong candidate, and my history in this state and my record speaks for itself. So they are misinformed, and it's unfortunate, but we'll see.
All right.
Can the same be said for Wesley Bell? And what are your concerns if there's a split to vote here in the St. Louis area?
I don't have a concern. If you want to consider that, look at my 2012 race. I am not a candidate that's locked into a specific race. I'm a candidate where people vote on me because of my record and my ability to get the job done. And so this is not about a race dealing with personality in black and white. This is about a person who's able to go to Washington, D.C. and work with the individuals there to get the job done. This is not about Republican or Democrat. This is about what is right and what's wrong. And we must heal this nation, and we need people in that environment that has the ability to influence that healing.
That's right.
As you mentioned, you've won a lot of races in the city of St. Louis when people didn't think you were going to win. How do you approach this race where it's a different scale? You're going to have to raise potentially millions of dollars, which you've never done before. How do you embrace that challenge?
Well, I'll tell you this reminds me of something. You know, now I have to go back to my biblical roots. It says that I can do all things through Christ. And I've never signed up to run a race based on money, because every time I've ran a race, I was always outraised. You got me? And outnumbered. But God don't need nothing but a few. If you read the story of Gideon, Gideon raised his army and he had too many. And God told him that you don't need that many, because when you got me, I'm more than enough. So I just want you to know that God with me is more than the world against me. That's how I answer that question.
Democrats obviously do not hold any statewide offices in Missouri at the moment. Is there any concern about making this a more crowded primary as opposed to some other race?
When you got the right candidate, you can win statewide office. And I think that I am the candidate that can move the needle forward for Democrats.
That's right. Thank you. Hallelujah.
If there are no further questions, you may see me following this press conference for any details you might have or any other questions you might have. But I thank you all very much for being here today.
All right.
All right, thank y'all for coming. We're kicking off a historical campaign right here on the Civil Court building stage today. And we're going to see all of you again, all right? All right. Let's hear it for CWA. CWA in the house.